the long-anticipated continuation of House of the Dragon's third season, as envisioned by George R. Martin, promises a deeper descent into the brutal and morally complex world of Westeros, where power is never secure and loyalty is constantly tested. According to his revealed direction, the narrative will focus heavily on the psychological consequences of war, especially among the key players of the Targaryen civil conflict. Rather than simply escalating battles, Martin intends to explore the emotional fractures within families, highlighting how grief, betrayal, and ambition reshape identities over time. Central to this unfolding story is the intensification of the Targaryen civil war, where both factions, the Blacks and the Greens, move beyond hesitation into full-scale devastation. Martin emphasizes that this phase of the story will not glorify war, but instead portray its cost with unflinching realism. Castles will fall, alliances will crumble, and characters once perceived as honorable will be forced into morally questionable decisions, blurring the line between hero and villain in ways that define his storytelling style. Another crucial aspect of the season's resolution lies in the evolving role of dragons. Rather than being mere weapons of destruction, dragons will become symbolic reflections of their riders' inner turmoil. Martin has hinted that their behavior will grow increasingly unpredictable, mirroring the instability of the war itself. This connection between dragon and rider will play a pivotal role in determining the outcome of several major confrontations, making each battle as emotionally charged as it is visually spectacular. Political intrigue will continue to serve as the backbone of the narrative, with court manipulation reaching unprecedented levels. Characters who previously operated in the shadows will step into more prominent roles, orchestrating events that shape the broader conflict. Martin suggests that viewers should pay close attention to quieter conversations and seemingly minor decisions, as these will carry consequences that ripple across the entire realm. The fate of King's Landing stands as one of the most significant focal points in Martin's outline. The city, already burdened by unrest, will become a battleground not only for armies, but for ideology. Competing visions of rulership and legitimacy will clash within its walls, leading to moments of chaos that redefine the political landscape of Westeros. Martin intends for this setting to encapsulate the broader tragedy of the war, where the innocent suffer the most. Character arcs will reach transformative turning points, particularly for those who have struggled with identity and purpose. Martin has always prioritized character-driven storytelling, and in this season, he aims to bring several long-building arcs to emotionally devastating conclusions. Redemption, vengeance, and resignation will all play roles in shaping these outcomes, ensuring that no character emerges unchanged from the conflict. One of the more intriguing elements Martin has discussed is the introduction of unexpected alliances. As the war escalates, survival becomes more important than loyalty, leading to partnerships that would have seemed impossible earlier in the series. These alliances will not only shift the balance of power, but also create tension and mistrust that adds further complexity to the narrative. The theme of legacy will be explored with greater depth, particularly in how the actions of the current generation affect the future of the Targaryen dynasty. Martin has hinted that decisions made during this season will echo far beyond its conclusion, laying the groundwork for events that fans of the broader lore will recognize. This sense of historical weight adds a layer of inevitability to the unfolding drama. Martin also plans to delve deeper into the perspectives of secondary characters, giving them more narrative significance. By expanding the scope of the story, he aims to provide a more comprehensive view of the war's impact across different regions and social classes. This approach enriches the world building and reinforces the idea that no one is untouched by the conflict. Ultimately, the narrative direction of Season 3 will emphasize the cost of power and the fragility of dynasties. Martin's vision is not one of triumph, but of consequence, where every victory carries a price, and every loss leaves a lasting scar. This thematic focus ensures that the story remains grounded in the emotional realities of its characters, even as it unfolds on an epic scale. As the season builds toward its climax, Martin has revealed that the final episodes will deliver a series of interconnected events that reshape the trajectory of the story. Rather than relying on a singling moment, the conclusion will unfold through a cascade of actions and reactions, each intensifying the stakes. This layered approach ensures that the ending feels both inevitable and surprising, staying true to the unpredictability that defines his work. One of the most anticipated elements is the depiction of large-scale battles that surpass anything seen in previous seasons. Martin has indicated that these sequences will prioritize storytelling over spectacle, focusing on the human experiences within the chaos. The audience will witness not only the strategies and outcomes of these battles, but also the fear, desperation, and courage of those involved. The emotional core of the finale will revolve around personal losses that redefine the motivations of key characters. Martin believes that tragedy is most impactful when it is deeply personal, and he has structured the season's ending to reflect this philosophy. Relationships that have been built over time will be tested and, in some cases, shattered, leaving characters to grapple with the consequences of their choices. Another significant aspect of the climax is the resolution of long-standing rivalries. These confrontations will not always result in clear winners, as Martin prefers to depict outcomes that are messy and morally complex. In some cases, characters may achieve their goals only to realize that the cost was greater than they anticipated, adding a layer of bittersweet realism to the story. The role of prophecy and fate will also come into sharper focus during the final episodes. While Martin has often been ambiguous about the influence of destiny, he has hinted that certain events in this season will suggest a larger, unseen force at play. This subtle interplay between free will and inevitability adds depth to the narrative and invites viewers to interpret the story in multiple ways. The aftermath of the season's major events will be just as important as the events themselves. Martin plans to dedicate time to exploring how the surviving characters process what has happened, allowing for moments of reflection and introspection. These quieter scenes will provide a necessary counterbalance to the intensity of the climax, emphasizing the emotional toll of the war. In terms of visual storytelling, the finale will feature striking imagery that reinforces its themes. Martin has always been attentive to symbolism, and he intends to use visual motifs to underscore the cyclical nature of power and conflict. These elements will enhance the narrative without overshadowing the character-driven focus of the story. The conclusion will also set the stage for future developments, leaving certain threads intentionally unresolved. Martin has explained that this approach reflects the ongoing nature of history, where endings are rarely absolute. By maintaining a sense of continuity, he ensures that the story feels like part of a larger tapestry rather than a self-contained arc. Audience expectations will be challenged in meaningful ways, as Martin seeks to avoid predictable resolutions. He has expressed a desire to surprise viewers while still delivering outcomes that feel earned. This balance between innovation and coherence is a hallmark of his storytelling and will be a defining feature of the season's ending. In the end, the emotional payoff of Season 3 will lie in its ability to resonate beyond the immediate events of story. Martin aims to leave viewers contemplating the themes of power, loyalty, and sacrifice long after the final scene. By grounding the spectacle in human experience, he ensures that the conclusion is not only memorable, but deeply impactful.